Hello guys, so today's video is going to be on how to be a morning person. Basically, I'm going to be sharing with you my tips on how to wake up earlier and actually enjoy it and get a good start to your day. So, with all that being said, let's get into it. Fun fact, studies have actually shown that 18% of people are morning type people, 27% are evening type, and the rest, which is 55%, are in between. You may be wanting to be a morning person and it's really hard for you, so that's why I am making this video, just to give you some tips on making being a morning person actually something that you can do. Let's get into it. My first tip for being a morning person is to try making being a morning person a habit. Choose the time you want to wake up and start waking up early at that time, going to bed earlier. It takes 21 days to form a habit. It's either 60 or 90, I don't remember, so I'll put it on the screen. Days until you just naturally do something without even thinking about it. So give it some time. Don't just expect to be a morning person overnight if you're not one. You have to get used to it. Let your body adjust to waking up earlier. My second tip is to gradually ease into becoming a morning person instead of doing it all at once. So you can do this by setting your alarm 15 to 30 minutes earlier every day for a week until you get to the time you want to, or however long it takes. This way it's more gradual. I found that just slowly easing into it makes waking up earlier a little less hard. Tip number 3 is to get your routine to go with your earlier schedule. So for instance, if you're going to bed at 8 and you normally eat dinner at 7, that's kind of late. It's recommended to eat 2 to 3 hours before going to bed, so try to set your dinner to 2 to 3 hours before your bedtime. Tip number 4, cut out all electronics at least 1 hour before bed. I know this is a common tip, you've probably heard it before. You're not supposed to use electronics before going to bed because of the blue light. It actually reduces your body's production of melatonin, which is a hormone that you need to fall asleep. Also, it can be hard to fall asleep when you're trying to go to bed earlier, so I have some tips to help you fall asleep better. Nighttime tea, essential oil diffusers are also great. You can get essential oil blends to help with sleep. Also, if you can't sleep because other people are up, you can use earplugs to block out the sound or an eye mask to block out the light. So those are my sleeping tips. Speaking of that, my next tip is to make sure you're going to bed early enough, or else waking up in the morning is so hard if you're sleep deprived. For me, if I'm trying to wake up at 6 a.m., I try to go to bed at like 8:30 or like around there, sometimes 9. I know it's pretty early, but you have to think about it. Like, instead of sleeping in until like 11 or something, you're waking up early, so you have to be going to bed that much earlier. Tip number 6 is to prep for the next day before going to bed, so then when you wake up, it's a lot easier and you're not all stressed when you first wake up. I like to do this by picking out my outfit for the next day. I don't always do this, but sometimes I do. Get all the stuff you need together for school and put that in your backpack, or all your work stuff. Make something for breakfast the next day. You can make overnight oats, where you just put in some oats in a jar with some milk. It's oatmeal already made for you. I also love to make a to-do list. I always do this before going to bed, so then when you wake up in the morning, you can start doing everything you need to and be productive. Speaking of that, my next tip is to make waking up as one of the things on your to-do list. You'll be more motivated to get up in the morning and not just press snooze 1,000 times. You'll already have done something on your list. So I always do this. And speaking of that, like I said earlier, do not press snooze. This is seriously the most basic tip ever, but I had to put it in here because it's so true. Pressing snooze actually interrupts your sleep cycle, so that's why it makes you more groggy. I never press snooze. For one, once I'm up, I'm literally up and I can't fall back asleep, but sometimes I am really tired and I could fall back asleep. But I always turn off my alarm and I get up right away, or at least read or like go on my phone for a little bit, so then I can kind of adjust. If I'm like, okay, I want to get 10 extra minutes of sleep, instead of pressing snooze and waiting 10 more minutes, I will set my alarm to 10 minutes later, and then once the alarm goes off, I'm like, okay, I have to get up now, and then I'll get up. This definitely takes self-determination, I guess, but it can be done. If you're actually making this a priority and something you want to do, you can do it. Definitely recommend this. Also, make your alarm something nice. Don't make it some really annoying ringtone that you absolutely hate and you've listened to for years and it doesn't put you in a good mood, because you don't want to wake up in a bad mood. I'd recommend using your favorite song as your ringtone, or just some sound that's happier. I just use one of the alarm sounds on my phone, but it's like nice. Like, I like it. Oh, by the way, you can also get alarms that like vibrate, or there's actually a light alarm. I just heard about it the other day, but basically it like slowly gets light. It's basically a stimulation of the sunrise outside. I don't really know how well this works, but if I can find one, I'll link it down below because it sounds pretty cool, but I'm not sure. Like, I don't know, I've never tried one. Tip number 10 is to start your day with something that's either positive or productive or both. You want to like pump yourself up for the day, so you might want to listen to an inspirational podcast. And another great idea is to make a list of what you're thankful for. Drink a glass of water to stay hydrated. If you already get stuff done when it's earlier, then you're like, oh my gosh, I already got that done and it's already 8 o'clock. Normally I'd still be sleeping until 10, you know? Tip number 11 is to go outside or work out after waking up. Doing this helps to reset your body's internal clock. Speaking of working out in the morning, some of you guys are probably like, oh my gosh, how am I supposed to get myself up so early, way earlier than I normally would wake up and go to the gym? Like, that just doesn't seem like a possibility, and I totally get you. I like to have a little bit of time before I go to the gym to drink some water, get hydrated, eat breakfast, read my Bible for a little bit, just kind of adjust so I can really wake myself up, and then when I do go to the gym or work at class or wherever, then I feel like I can definitely push myself more than if I was to just wake up and go straight to working out. My last tip is, if you need to sleep in, let yourself. Yeah, just... what was I even talking about? I don't even remember. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, letting yourself sleep in. Yes. Okay. Sometimes I'm just tired and I'm like, I have not been getting enough sleep. So on a Saturday or on a Sunday, I'll let myself sleep in and just wake up when I naturally wake up. And then I'll go back to waking up early the next night. Sleep in if you need to every once in a while, but definitely try to keep a consistent sleep schedule because it'll really help with waking up early. So anyways, I think those are all my tips. I love being a morning person. I've definitely had times where I've been sleeping in really late and going to bed really late as well. If you want to change and be a morning person, you can. Or if you just wanted to find some tips because you have to wake up early for school or work, I really hope this helped you. Let me know in the comments what your favorite tip was. If you want to see my productive early morning routine, I'll have it linked down below. Be sure to subscribe if you're new here. I would love to have you join the fam and follow me on my socials. I love you all so much. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. And yeah, so maybe that'll I hope I don't even know what I'm saying.